Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys ACGHK figure preview video. Before we begin, I want to say a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for coming out with me in person to the convention and snapping these gorgeous high-res pictures and these awesome intro videos. Show Ryan some love in the comments below because without him, this series literally wouldn't be possible. If you are looking to pre-order your very own copy of Battle Damaged Vader, I have popped a link to Pop Collectibles in the description below, along with the discount code Justin's Collection for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as more convention tour / figure preview videos go live on the channel. When I first saw this, I was a bit confused because at the time of seeing it and now filming this video, we only just got our first ever Battle Damaged Vader in the Kenobi Series 1. And then to get another even more battle damaged look for him, I wasn't so sure. But now, having digested it and seen it in person, I understand why they made this. People have been asking for an all-out battle-damaged look for Vader for ages. And it's got a trick up its sleeve, being the only Darth Vader that I would feel comfortable leaving in a pose. His outfit is not made of pleather. This is the shit. This is a nylon Vader outfit, so you can pose him, and you don't have to be nervous about one day the outfit cracking and creasing and being damaged. There is a little bit of pleather on him still, the boots and the belt. I'll take it, because the outfit is the most important thing to me, and if the belt starts cracking or peeling, or the boots get a little bit scuffed up or they crack, well, it's a battle damage look, so I'm on board with the choices that they've made for this particular figure. Would a sculpted plastic belt and boots be a better option? 100%. Still, I'm not about to sit here and complain about anything on this piece. This looks incredible. The only other weird thing is, I wonder why they didn't announce this guy under the Force Unleashed license, because then anyone who has Lord Starkiller on pre-order probably would have jumped on this guy right away if they weren't already, of course. Still, it seems like a missed opportunity not giving us another Force Unleashed figure. Seeing that classic artwork with the Force Unleashed logo on the box would have been a treat. This figure in person has the P word. Presence, especially with that cape. You can see that, right? The silhouette of Vader's face in the curls and wrinkles of the cape itself. Genius, and you will see it again a little bit later in the video. In terms of accessories, you do get a normal cape, you're about to see that as well. The swooshing effect lightsaber blade, but they've gone back to the fan version instead of the actual accurate swoosh effect. Not sure what's happening there. I do love the color though, it's much more vibrant compared to their pinker Darth Vader lightsaber blades. He comes with multiple interchangeable robotic hands, so the fingers are not articulated, it seems. The post mechanism that they're using to plug the hands in is quite interesting. Like a little post or something, it's not a regular wrist peg. I'm not sure what this little piece of battle damage is. If you know, just weigh in down in the comments below. I'm guessing that it either is part of his outfit or you can maybe put it on the display base somewhere. These hands look similar to all of the sculpted plastic Darth Vader hands that we've seen previously, maybe the Empire ones or Rogue One. It's hard to tell just seeing them on display at the convention. We'll have to wait for this guy to be released and I'll compare these hands to the previous Darth Vader hands in person. The wrinkling and stitching and sculpt work all looks fantastic. As for head sculpts, we get a few different options. Fully battle damaged, just a normal helmet with a little bit of speckling of dirt and grime on it, and then the all-out bald Hayden Christensen scarred, deformed-looking Darth Vader helmet without the top dome portion. I dig that almost burnt gold-looking paint app on the side of the helmet that is still intact, and yes, he does have moving eyes. This is very detailed, I'm just not going to be using it. I'm going with the half-half look, still with the dome on top. seeing Hayden's chrome dome just doesn't give me that wow factor that the other helmets both provide. It's there if you want it. I'm not sure how many people are going to end up using it. Just weigh in down in the comments below. This helmet looks like the Rogue One or Kenobi mold because the smaller triangle on the chin and the shape of the bottom part where the neck area flares out, combined with the shape of the eyes and how the dome sits, those are all dead giveaways for me and they scream A New Hope Vader. I dig that look for Vader's helmet. I've never loved the Return of the Jedi / Empire helmet mold from Hot Toys because it's got this real sad puppy dog eye look about it. So this display base is new, but it was leaning at the convention, and Vader was clammed in with his crotch grabber, so I don't know why he was leaning, except for potentially the cape being the cause. It might just be the prototype version that's too heavy, and then the whole thing was leaning because of it. For the final product, Hot Toys, please make sure this sculpted plastic cape is as light as possible. The last thing we want is for this awesome new looking display base with the wires and the light up effect to start leaning over time and eventually maybe break if you're not careful with it and if that lean gets too severe. Speaking of severe, that's exactly how I would describe the battle damage. His robot leg is fully visible, and that's not something that we get to see very often with Darth Vader. Yes, Sideshow made this look in a Mythos statue, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. But in 1/6 scale, Hot Toys have always shied away from doing fabric battle damage, because if you think about it, when you're doing a fabric suit and you're then cutting holes in it, you're ruining the structural integrity of that fabric, and that means if you start to pose that figure, the holes that are already there may give way to even bigger tears and gashes that aren't part of the look and would damage, like I said, the integrity of that material, making it more fragile. They must have figured out a way to maybe seal the edges of the bits that they've cut away. They could potentially be laser cutting the fabric so that it doesn't get worse when you start to pose him. I'm thinking that's the case because they wouldn't give us something that's super fragile and when you start to move gets destroyed immediately, right? And I know that sounds silly because most of their Spider-Man figures do get damaged when you pose them, but you know what I'm trying to say? If they're going for nylon for the sake of this figure being durable, then chances are they've thought about how the battle damage is going to work with articulation. He does come with the typical little stupid junction box light up thing, but the lightsaber does look way brighter than usual. That could be just the prototype, or it could be that they've boosted the brightness of the LED inside the lightsaber. So the other battle damage parts are the chest area. You can see the nasty, gross looking flesh, and it's got a bit of redness to it, so it looks almost fresh. And we've got the fully exposed arm on the same side as the battle damage leg. So now that I'm thinking about it, that means all of the battle damage is on the left side of Vader, so you're getting a real half-half situation. This is the helmet that I'm going to be going with. Look at that redness under the eye. Just makes him look evil as hell. And yes, that eye is movable. It's glossy looking, very realistic. And there's some fresh blood on his cheek that looks like when the helmet was hit by a saber or shot with a blaster or something. He copped it as well, so he's been bleeding. This is something I never thought I'd see from them, but I'm glad they decided to make it. Oh, and the normal cape looks like this. It's wired and it's singed and tattered with some orange paint on it, so maybe that's to simulate a burning effect. The redness that you're now seeing on the sculpted cape, just on the high spots, that's paint, not any sort of lighting being cast on it from something else. That means they're simulating the light up effect of the saber on the cape, so chances are this is going to look really cool if you have him with the LED saber in his hand. If you don't, then the red might not make a ton of sense depending on where you have him displayed in your collection and what your lighting situation is like. Not a deal breaker, certainly not the end of the world, just something to be aware of. There is a lot of grit and texture on the cape, by the way. They didn't want it to look like a smooth piece of fondant, so they've added a lot of creasing and texture, and there's wrinkles and folds and tattered edges. So it does come across as though this is made of fabric. At the end of this, I wasn't 100% sold when they first announced him. Now that I've seen him in person, oh, I'm all in. I cannot wait to get this piece. Now, if you're feeling the same, I have popped a link to Pop Collectibles in the description below. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. I've also included the discount code Justin's Collection down there for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down in the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.